Happy Wednesday, everybody. I am so thrilled to be able to come and visit you today in the middle of your week on Wednesday, May 24. Boy, I can't believe it. We're working our way through May. I live in Concord, and this is, I'm not sure how close you are to the Speedway. I live very close to Speedway, and so last week and this week, it's NASCAR time in Concord, North Carolina. There was the All-Star race last weekend. It was great. And then this weekend is the big race. And so we'll just have a great time. I've got friends that always come in, and we just have a good time around all the busyness and traffic and all that. And, we don't curse the darkness. We get in there and have fun with it and have a good time. So I hope it's been a good week for you. Let me just take a second and let me go back to last week. I want to be careful to not overlook things that God does for us in our life, in our church, certainly. And last weekend was one of those just landmark, historical weekends in the life of our church. We'll look back as we document our church in the future. We'll look back at the first year and the second year and the things that God did and the milestones and all that. Well, Sunday was an amazing day. Actually, it started Friday and Saturday. We had Place Weekend. Had a great turnout for that, and a wonderful group that went through Place, and that was life-changing. And I want to encourage everybody, if you've not gone through our Place experience, we need you to get on that list, and we'll do that about every other month from now till Jesus comes. So Place was great. Then the ladies had a shower Saturday for Abby that everybody enjoyed, as our ladies do such a wonderful job with that. Such an important part of our ministry, of our family. And then Sunday we had our friend Phil Cross come from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Phil is a songwriter and a singer and a musician, and I've known Phil for a long time. He's just an amazingly talented, a gifted man, a man of God, and he walks with God. And he's an anointed songwriter, and he's written wonderful, wonderful songs. And so I asked him to come and teach us and help us with our worship. And he did. Phil will sit and he'll play, and he'll speak, he'll talk, he'll teach, he'll sing. And it was just a great Sunday. And our people are talking all week about how they enjoyed Phil Cross. And already looking forward to having Phil back again. He had a great time with us as well. And then Sunday night, now that was... we knew it was going to rain. The forecast was not good. So Sunday morning, I was really torn about canceling the baptism because we baptize outside at a pool. And I just thought, I just can't pull myself to the place where I can't cancel baptism because so many people really excited about it. So we said, all right, well, I'll be there. And if it rains, it'll rain, and if we want to be baptized, we can do that and have food and fun. So I was amazed. There was about 120 people showed up Sunday night to watch and participate in our church's baptism. It was, I'm out of words. It's hard for me to explain. It's impossible for me to explain to you what happened Sunday night at the spirit and the family atmosphere that was there at our baptism. I just want to thank Cecil and Sonia Jenkins so much for letting us have all that at their place. We invaded their home and took over their pool and did our baptism. And God took care of the weather. It was wonderful. There was lots of food, and people stayed, and it was just fun. It was a great, great day and night for the Community Church of Mount Pleasant. So, Lord, thank you for that. This week is another exciting week. Saturday is our next men's prayer breakfast, and men, afterwards, if you want to come stay for an hour or two, we have a work day. We're going over to our new property and going to clean up the grounds a little bit, and of course have food like we always do. So that's Saturday, 9 o'clock. Bring somebody with you, and then Sunday is a really excited about Sunday. It is our first gathering Sunday for our journey, and so we have commitment cards, and we're asking all of our families to pray and ask the Lord what we can make a commitment for to bring. And this Sunday will be our first time to bring those cards or our offerings to the Lord as we prepare to start building our new building and our journey home. So. Also, I'm gonna preach Sunday about Discover CCMP, and it's a really neat thing. I think you'll enjoy Sunday. It'll be different, but it'll be fun. Today, let me talk to you from Psalm 100. This is a obviously a favorite psalm. It's a short psalm, and I just have kind of dissected that a little bit, and want to give you a couple observations from Psalm 100. And I guess maybe I was thinking about this past weekend as I looked into Psalm 100. I thought about Sunday morning and worship and having Phil with us, and we sang and we listened to words, and we worshipped. We opened our hearts to God in worship, and I guess I was thinking about the baptism Sunday night, of how good God was to us this past weekend, and how good God's been to our church up to this point. And so Psalm 100, and I want, if you're an English teacher, you're going to like this, because I loved English, believe it or not, in high school and college, and so I want to look at the verbs here. Let's do a little diagramming in Psalm 100, and I think it's going to help us, because verses 1 through 4, the verbs are very important, and they're action verbs. They show an act as you do something, and then in verse 5 we see that it's the kind of a state of being verb, which is different. But verses 1 through 4, and then we'll look at verse 5 of Psalm 100. Make, that's the first verb. That is an action word, and it means for us to take action as we make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands. That is an instruction to us that we are to worship. We are to be involved and not just sit, not just watch, not just listen, but make a joyful noise. Participate, verse 1 says. Make a joyful noise, who? All ye lands. Verse 2. Here's the next verb. Serve the Lord. And we kind of know we're all supposed to serve, And he doesn't say sit. He doesn't say watch. He says serve. And we got opportunities to do that every Sunday. We have an opportunity this Saturday. Every day we have an opportunity to serve the Lord. But it's not just to serve the Lord. Verse 2. Serve the Lord with gladness. How about that? That kind of takes it to another level. Okay, I guess I have to serve the Lord today, or I guess I have to go to work, and I guess I have to serve others, and I guess I have to serve the church. There's joy in serving Jesus. And if we don't serve the Lord with gladness, don't serve. Don't serve the Lord out of an angry spirit or a bad attitude. Serve the Lord with gladness. And he also says this, come, the next verb, so we have make, serve, come before his presence with singing. Isn't that interesting? Make, serve, come. Verse 3. Here's another action verb. Know ye that the Lord, he is God. So we are instructed in verse 3 to know, be aware, have a proper perspective on what? On him. Know ye that the Lord, he is God. It is he that hath made us, and not we ourselves. We are his people, and the sheep of his pasture. So verse 3 says that we are not only to make a joyful noise, to serve the Lord with gladness, to come before his presence with singing, but we are to know, have a proper perspective on God, and know who he is. Verse 4, and here's the next action verb. So we have make, serve, come, know, and then verse 4. Enter into his gates with thanksgiving, and into his courts with praise. So we are, it is a physical, if you go to a place and there's a doorway, and you are to enter into that doorway, you have to physically, mentally do action. Enter into his gates with what? And this is interesting. Let's see the whole context. With thanksgiving and praise. So number 1, get up, actively enter church, fellowship, work, wherever it is. You enter, that's an action word, and you enter with an attitude. You ought to come to church with an attitude. And what should your attitude be? It should be that of a grateful heart. It should be one with thankfulness and praise. And then he closes out verse 4 by saying, be thankful unto him and bless his name. So, make, serve, come, know, enter, bless. Those are active words. They're action verbs. And that tells us what we... Now, let me change gears for verse 5 and then we'll close. The verb tense changes here. In the first 4 verses, the verbs have been action verbs. That means you are to participate and do something. Verse 5 changes, and it becomes a state of being verb. That means you don't have to take action. It means it just is. Verse 5 says this, "For the Lord is good." He don't have to work at being good. He don't have to strive. He is. He just is. God just is good. His mercy is everlasting. He doesn't have to establish that. He don't have to do like action verbs and be active about it. He is. He just is. The Lord is good. It's His nature. His mercy is forever. That's the nature of God. And His truth endures to all generations. So, Psalm 100, great action words. Those first 4 verses are to us, and it tells us to participate with a thankful heart and a joyful spirit and with gladness. And he also says in verse 5, now, God already is. He don't have to pursue, to be active. He just is. He's good. He is full of grace, and His love and mercy endures forever. So, Psalm 100, take that with you today. If it's a little rainy, like it's been a little bit this week, jump on in there in Psalm 100 and take advantage of that instruction, and just take heart and realize that God just is all those good things that we need. Don't miss Sunday. It's going to be a great day. Men, we have a breakfast on Saturday. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're praying for you. We love you. God bless you. Thanks for joining us today.